Hello and welcome to the recap of the season finale of season 10, The Real Housewives of Beverly Hills. Wow. Yeah, that was a lot. I'd like to start by thanking new subscribers. I'd like to thank Cindy M., eagle-eyed subscriber Cindy M., and I'm going to thank her as Dorinda. Cindy M. was clever enough to notice that the Mexican restaurant where they had Sonia's birthday, which was basically in El Torito, actually had paper napkin dispensers on the table. I think that's the first time again in Housewives history that we have had an event in a restaurant where there are paper napkin dispensers on the table. So good job, Cindy M., and welcome. I want to also thank from the bottom of my heart, Lisa T., Karen Brown, Lise Sharon, I hope I'm saying that right. I want to thank new subscriber Kira, and this is for you, Brandi Glanville. Lee Papagni, thank you, welcome, and thank you for reminding me that Dorinda's Afghan pants, those are also called granny squares. After you said that, I remembered. And you know what's funny is we had Afghans in my house from both of my grandmothers and I believe a step grandmother as well. So yeah, there was a time when those were all over people's homes and you had to all pull them out when grandma came to visit. But pants, I don't know. Lee, for some reason I wasn't able to answer you. I wasn't able to put in a reply, but I'm doing so on camera. So again, welcome. Thank you for joining. And finally, thank you to JSMA 5503. Welcome. Welcome to Tea and Shade. All right, we're going to jump right in because we have a whole lot to talk about. First of all, I want you to notice that I'm doing kind of a low-key tribute to Dorinda's housewarming look. However, I am only wearing 3 decorative hairpins. We'll get into this a little later, but Dorit kind of went to her hairpin drawer and put every single one on. Now, I also have quite a collection of these, so I was actually jokingly going to put them all on too, but I thought, you know what, 3 is enough, and these are new ones, and they came as a set. I thought they were kind of pretty, so we'll just do a low-key shade toss at Dorit for her over metal accessorization of her party outfit. Okay, so this is technically, it's the finale, but it's also episode 16 of season 10, and it's called Denise and Desist. Okay, that's actually kind of cute. Usually the names have been kind of silly, but yeah, it's actually pretty good. Okay, first we get to see, after several episodes of absence, Kyle's complete BS collection. That she's had nothing to do with. You know, talk about not having to work very hard. I guess Sutton calls her and says, you know, I'll put some of your pieces in my store. Sutton, you're a good friend. Because Sutton has some really nice things in her boutique. And she's even letting Kyle put her bizarre pieces in her window. I'm thinking that maybe when Kyle goes away, she might kind of reshuffle things around, depending on whether she's on a high traffic street that Kyle's going to be passing frequently. I just don't think it's up to par with the other things in her store. Yeah, it's just kind of sad. And I'm wondering where else her pieces are going. I don't know. You all know I'm not a fan of Kyle, but I'm telling you, if she actually tried to do something in a creative way, which we know she did not from the beginning of the season. We know that she was not at all familiar with any of the pieces in this collection. She didn't even pick them out in the way that Sonia went to a Chinese manufacturer and picked out the pieces. I fully believe she just found this Shahida woman and said, yeah, let me slap my name, here's a check. And you know, she's not familiar with what's really in there. And by the way, that sparkly coat that Sutton was being so nice about, oh, Sutton, you're really trying hard for a diamond, was absolutely hideous. Unless you're the ringmaster of a circus, I do not recommend wearing that jacket in public, ever. Okay, so now there's another housewarming. If you've been following my Real Housewives of Potomac recaps, which I highly recommend that you do, not just because I'm giving a plug here, but because I think that anybody who enjoys the Real Housewives franchise, if you're not watching the Real Housewives of Potomac, get to know them. You know, watch one of my recaps first and see if the characters sound interesting, and then you can dive into the show, because I think that these ladies are a lot of fun. And as some of the other shows are kind of wavering and having issues, Potomac is going strong. It's in its 5th year. It's in the full flush of youth. It's definitely interesting. So you might like it. Give it a try. Anyway, but there was also a housewarming for a rental house in that, which was the Hugers. Karen Huger from that show has a rental house, and she did a housewarming. So I guess that's a thing now. I mean, you know, it is. If it's a rental, it is your home. Anyway, so, and I also have been informed that it's possible that Dorit and PK actually bought this house. Now, it is in, I believe, Encino, which is in the valley, as is Kyle and Mauricio's house. A lot of them, Teddi lives out in the valley. A lot of them live in the valley. And it is considerably less expensive than being on the Beverly Hills side of that ridge of mountains. The south side is Beverly Hills, Bel Air, Brentwood. Much more expensive. So maybe they did actually purchase the home. I'm not sure. I could look up the real estate records, but I don't think it really matters. The thing that matters is Dorit has been great this season, and I'm happy that she and PK are in a lovely house, whether it's rented, whether it's owned. Anyway, okay. Dorit is talking to PK, and she says something really odd. She says that Rinna is one of her best friends, because Dorit is not really comfortable with the way Rinna has been behaving in this whole Brandi Glanville matter. Dorit, Lisa Rinna is not your best friend. She is no one's friend but her own. She looks out for herself, and she will run over you in a large Escalade at the drop of a hat if it means advancing her own career. So don't make a mistake. Don't ever trust her and consider her a friend. Okay, Dorit still does not believe Brandi. PK says, I'm not getting involved. Remember, he got a little too involved in the past. And yeah, he seems really absent from the show. I'm not sure. The interaction between them was not quite as cutesy, lovey as it normally is. This is one of the first times we've really seen them interact this season. And yeah, the bloom is off the rose, as they say, or maybe they're just going through a little rough patch. I'm not sure. Okay. Rinna and Teddi FaceTime Erica. Oh God. Rinna and Teddi, okay, here's basically the gist of the telephone call. BS, nonsense, BS, drama, fake. You know, Rinna says, oh, she's got to take responsibility for her action. She's made her bed, and it's filled with snakes. Yeah, you, Rinna. You're the biggest snake of all. Okay. I wonder if Kyle knows. We see her getting ready for the party, and I wonder if she knows, if she's aware, if it's something she's doing consciously, that she is purchasing bit by bit Lisa Vanderpump's face. Is no one else noticing this? I think I put up in a previous recap a side by side of Lisa Vanderpump and Kyle, and Kyle's face is no longer her former face. And it's really odd because the look that she's going for, the lips, the hair, everything is Lisa Vanderpump. She's really intent on replacing her. No chance in hell. Okay, if you take a lot of side-by-side photos of Kyle and Lisa Vanderpump, she just looks like maybe Lisa's dumpier younger sister, slightly younger, not even that younger, because the work is making her look older than she is. So just be careful, Kyle. Unless that's the look that you're paying for. Just like I think Brandi said, give me the Adrienne Maloof, I think Kyle said, give me the Lisa Vanderpump. I don't know. Although out of all of them, the one that's had the least work is Lisa Vanderpump. She's had the least work. She's been pretty careful about the little things that she's done as she's aged, which is why she doesn't look weird. Like, I love Adrienne, but Adrienne and Brandi, whom I do not love. Okay, Rinna's wearing another bad wig. We see her getting ready. Teddi is wearing... Oh, I'm sorry, I fell asleep. What was I saying? It doesn't matter. Okay. Garcelle is going with Denise to support her because Garcelle is really a good friend. So she's saying, you know what, we're going to go together. We can have a shot or two in the car. I'm going to be there for her. That's Garcelle. She is a true friend. Okay, now something interesting. Dorit is now prepared for the guests to arrive, and she has become magnetized. Apparently, as she passes, all metal objects are drawn and stick to her head and to her dress because she has about 7 chunky gold hairpins. And she's got a dress that looks very nice. I'm sure it's Versace. She's been covering a lot of Versace this season. But it has like tons of giant gold safety pins on it and big gold grommets. So she is a walking hardware store, that girl. And she is not going to get through any metal detector. If they have to suddenly flee the country, she's going to have to change. All right. Okay, Rinna's dress is nice. And I noticed before she talks about this that the wig makes her look a little like a discount Heidi Klum. But she actually does look a little bit like Heidi Klum in this wig. And she's the makeup is definitely, yeah, I can't tell a lie. She doesn't look bad. In fact, I'm going to say she looks pretty. There, that wasn't so hard. The dress is black, like her soul. Okay, Dorit and PK, a whole lot of those Christmas decorations in your house are Party City. Those are not elegant, high-end, crystal and baccarat and, gold and... No. Those are really cheap snowmen and Santas and jokers and... it's really bargain basement. She went to one of those, what are they called? Christmas warehouse, Santa's warehouse, Santa's closet, whatever. They went to those, I'm sure, as they live in the valley, there are many of those in the valley. And they went and they just brought a big truck and filled it up with junk because it's not high end at all. Yeah, Dorit, you let me down there. Okay. Yeah, it's called Santa's Winter Wonderland Discount Outlet. That's it. All right. Kyle comes with perennial sidekick Faye and partial husband Mauricio. No, I mean, they're still together. I'm not wishing a divorce upon them. They are definitely very much together. It's just that, okay, what does he do as soon as they get to the party? He ditches her. What has Mauricio been doing this whole season? He has been just kind of like avoiding Kyle as much as possible. He has been allegedly, stoned in a lot of it. And he just kind of looks like he's checked out. And little note, ladies, when your husband starts looking checked out, he is checked out. It's not like, oh, he has work on his mind. No, if he's into you, he will pay attention to you. And I feel like Mauricio is kind of like over everything, even though I'm sure he knows the show's great for his business, which is having some ups and downs. I mean, it's still very much, a solvent business, doing plenty of business, but, they closed down, I think they closed down 1 or 2 of their offices, but, that might have been due to Miss Rona. But he did have a very large fraud lawsuit. And in the real estate game, if you are very publicly sued for fraud which is a fact. That's not allegedly. And there was a settlement reached. A settlement is not supposed to necessarily mean guilt, but it doesn't look good when you settle. You know, the assumption is the truly innocent fight it to the death. I don't, you know, but legally, a settlement does not say, oh, I am guilty. But he did settle. P.S. Okay, all right, that is too funny. When Faye Resnick arrives with Kyle, she says, you know what, we should all buy lots of wigs, and then our boyfriends, husbands, you know, they'll have like a different girl every night. They can have other women. And Rinna says, oh, well, Harry has a lot of girlfriends. Harry has Heidi. And so that's funny. See, the wig that she's wearing, she calls Heidi, because clearly it's her attempt to channel Heidi Klum. Yeah, because she says, Harry loves Heidi. All right. If, let's see, my husband likes, not as an actress, but her looks. He likes Anne Hathaway. If he started asking me to wear an Anne Hathaway wig, like her look from The Devil Wears Prada, I would say, get the fuck out of here. I would not be that happy with that. All right. Okay. Sutton shows up in another weirdly dumpy Dolce & Gabbana. I love Dolce & Gabbana, and yeah, they go way over the top with the kind of Victorian and Baroque and Rococo touches. You know, like this dress has little lace frames that are supposed to look like cameos, like within each lace frame is kind of a cameo or a painting. And so the workmanship is beautiful, but I don't know where she's finding these kind of like A-line tent dresses, because when I look, as I always do, in the windows of the big Dolce & Gabbana at Bal Harbour, shops at Bal Harbour up north of here in Miami, I never see anything A-line. So I'm just wondering, does she have them made especially for her? And I know that I don't want to be hard on her, because I know that she is very self-conscious about having put on some weight, even though she's basically pretty skinny, you know, but she's put on a little weight around the middle. I can definitely, you know, relate to trying to find, you know, what is the most flattering on your changing body as you get older. But I don't know. I feel like if you go too much for the A-line, I think I've said this before, it kind of says, hi, I'm wearing A-line because I'm hiding something. So I just think that she can do better. And especially with the budget she has, she can definitely do better. She could do empire waist, you know, like a higher waist, which accentuates the bust and then kind of flares out a little. There's a lot of other options other than this kind of tent dress look. So yeah, this has been like the third Dolce & Gabbana look on her, actually more, I think, that have been weirdly, again, the word is dumpy. And who ever heard someone say dumpy and Dolce & Gabbana in the same sentence? I'm rattled. Okay. All right. Adrienne Maloof shows up, and I'm always glad to see her. I always find Adrienne interesting. Always enjoy her visiting the show. Garcelle and Michael are waiting outside Denise's hotel. I guess they don't want to come in from Malibu, so supposedly they got a place closer to the actual party. I'm not sure, but it's definitely not her house in Malibu. So Denise is not answering her phone. Garcelle told her she was going to come and pick her up and take her, I believe her and Aaron, to the party. They were all going to go together and again have a drink in the car. She's not answering her phone. So Garcelle keeps trying and trying and trying. In the meantime, she's talking to Michael, and I think she's the first one to bring up diamonds. Girl, you've been dating 3 months. I mean, you're beautiful, and I'm sure he's into you, but don't bring up diamonds after 3 months. There is a certain timeline, and while you don't have to stick to it in a concrete fashion, 3 months is way too early. It just makes you look thirsty, and you, Garcelle, should never look thirsty. You are too magnificent, so stop it. All right, she does say that she was celibate for 7 years after her divorce. That's how hurt she was by that jerk that weaselly Mike, her other Mike, cheating on her. You know, apparently everybody knew about it. She was the last to know. And then she made sure everyone knew because she sent that email out. She sent the angry email to everyone they knew and all of his business associates. So apparently not everyone knew because she spilled the tea to the whole world. An angry woman, a woman scorned. Be careful. Okay, now Garcelle calls and she's like, no, it's going straight to voicemail, which, as we all know, is usually a sign of a phone being turned off. So this is concerning. All right. Dorit makes a little speech and she presents a magician. What is this? It's a child's birthday party? I mean, I guess supposedly he's a mentalist, but he's a magician. Okay. All right. Okay. This party is a plug for PK's latest venture, which is a non-alcoholic champagne, which is called l'Astuce, which in French means I don't know exactly how you'd say it in English, but there's a moment in a magic trick where you show the magic, the moment of magic, like when the dove flies out of your sleeve or whatever, and it's called the prestige, and that's what it means. It's a bad definition, but anyway, so that's why they decided to have a magician, because it represents the champagne, but that's all very vague and they don't really explain that. Anyway, I just happen to know what that word is. Okay, now it's obvious Denise is not coming. She should have let Garcelle know. I mean, Denise, you're not, I am on your side, honey. I'm on your team. You know I am. But that doesn't give you the right to have a complete lack of manners and just simply not letting Garcelle know. All you have to do is say, look, I can't do it. But be an adult. You don't have to let everybody else know, but I mean, you should let Dorit, because it's her party and she's expecting you, and you should let Garcelle know. You should call Garcelle, and if you're really just feeling that bad, you could even text Dorit, although that's pretty cheesy. You should call her when you're canceling at the last minute. A text is not acceptable, but you know what? It would be better than nothing. And basically what we have here is nothing. Okay, so, oh my God, Garcelle and Michael, they go without her. Garcelle emerges from the car in this red strapless dress, looking like the goddess Venus. Oh my God, she's so beautiful. She's got a very long, straight, amazingly expensive looking black wig, and she's just ageless, timeless, amazing. I've heard her say that if Denise does not come back on the show, she is not coming back on the show, because she now has a place on the panel discussion program, The Real, which is, I think, runs like, doesn't that run like 5 days a week? It runs more than once a week. So I don't know, maybe she's going to be too busy to come back. I hope not. What a great shame. You finally get someone who's got it all and you're going to chase her away with, you know, or maybe she was looking for a way out. I don't know. Okay. When Garcelle says Denise is a no-show, everyone immediately starts, what? Judging. Let's judge Denise. Why don't they just call this season, Let's Judge Denise? And while we're at it, let's get Denise off the show. Oh, they're all so concerned. Oh my God, she could be lying dead on the side of the road. You're not concerned. You wanted her to come so that you could gang up on her again like a pack of Wolverines. And a few of you know the other secret of the night. Who else is coming? You're all going to act like it's a surprise, but I know a few of you know in advance that a certain 5'11" drunken, I won't go on, my words will start getting very ugly, Brandi Glanville might be coming. Okay. And again, Dorit especially is really going over the line here with her. But I mean, I'm so concerned. I'm so worried. I mean, what happened to her? Tone it down. Okay, tone it down. What do you think? She's going to kill herself? She's going to jump off a cliff in Malibu? Oh, because you guys have all been so terrible to her? No, not you, Dorit, but everyone else. oh God, Rinna, just the pot stir. Rinna is like, Garcelle, she's a terrible friend to you. Garcelle, she's not your friend. So she's trying to break that friendship up. Garcelle doesn't buy anybody's nonsense. She may look like she's listening, but Garcelle is smart. She sees through these ladies. Believe me. Okay, Dorit says, Brandi's not invited. It's Dorit's party, and she did not invite her. She says Brandi is not invited, so that cannot be the reason why she's just kind of bowed out without telling anybody. Anorexic Rinna says, allegedly. Oh, there's lasagna. There's lasagna. Oh, yeah, as if you're going to be... She should say this. Oh, look, lasagna. I won't be touching that because you'll never see me put anything more than an olive in my mouth in this entire show. Also, if you followed me around 24 hours a day, you would never see me put more than a tiny bite in my mouth. Although, allegedly, I'm just naturally this skinny. Okay. All right. Not unless you have hyperthyroidism or some other really strong condition, which you don't appear to have. All right, but again, all of this is allegedly. I am not a doctor or a psychiatrist, and I do not play one on TV. Okay, Garcelle recognizes the tall waiter from Kyle's party, and she sure is happy to see that tall, fine waiter. Meanwhile, Michael is over telling people that he's ready to propose to Garcelle, so apparently her mentioning the diamond has inspired him. And then we see, Garcelle checking out the tall, admittedly spectacular waiter, and we see a flashback of her flirting with him at Kyle's party. So, ooh, Michael, not looking so good for you. She may have brought up the word diamond, but I don't think she's that into it. She might want to go a little younger. I don't know. Such is life. Okay. All right. We find out that Denise had a little meeting with Camille. We brought Camille back on for this finale, for a scene where she's sitting with Denise and basically warning her about the ladies. Now, a lot of people are throwing shade for that, like, because in the past, Denise and Camille did not exactly get along. But, Camille does know what it's like to have the ladies kind of gang up on you. I'm not saying she's an innocent little lamb. And I know that the way Camille speaks, the slow, deliberate way that she speaks, a lot of people find annoying. I don't hate Camille. I never have. She's always running around with her various assistants and her friends who seem kind of like paid friends. They're like assistants who are friends. Anyway, I know there are things about Camille that are very easy to make fun of, but I don't mind her. I wouldn't mind seeing her back on the show. I mean, look, I would take anybody over Rinna. They're not going to get rid of Rinna, though, because Rinna causes too much drama. But listen, Teddi needs to go. Oh, if Teddi's back for another season, I'm just going to despair of the future of the show. She is the most worthless housewife I can remember from any franchise. She adds nothing to the show. Honestly, they need to get rid of her. So I don't know. I mean, are they going to give Sutton a diamond? I mean, Sutton's cute, but I don't think she's all that fascinating. She's funny. She's okay. She's better than Teddi. And we'll have to see. There are so many rumors swirling around right now. All we know for sure is that we definitely know Brandi has a diamond. Can we have a few seconds of silence for that? Because the problem with Brandi is it's not just watching someone causing drama. It's watching someone who is not well. Brandi is broken in a lot of ways. And I don't enjoy watching people on these shows who are, who are, just fundamentally broken, who have serious issues. I don't find that entertaining. And the way that she blurts out obscenities and just her whole shtick, and I believe her whole mental state is not appropriate for a show that's supposed to be entertainment. But yeah, folks, she's on the show. So we're just all going to have to deal with that, because of course I will keep watching to see what happens, but it's going to be really difficult for me, because I think if it's possible, no, I don't dislike her more than Rinna. I dislike her as much as Rinna, but I don't understand the choice of Brandi as a diamond holder. I do understand why they would keep Rinna. Brandi is just a weird choice to me. Okay, all right. Sure enough, Brandi shows up with Kim. She shows up as Kim's +1. Two ladies who are broken and have a lot of serious issues. It makes sense that they are friends. Yeah, she's Kim's +1. Yeah, that would make sense. And again, they're both nuts. Kim looks very creepy. She looks like a doll that's been left out in the sun. And this is not age shaming. It doesn't have anything to do with age. I can't explain it. There's just something about her features, or maybe it's the work that she's had done. I'm not sure. But like I said, I've seen her before in the season where I thought she looked kind of cute. Tonight, it might just be really bad lighting. Let me tell you, lighting makes all the difference. When you're over 50, lighting is everything. Okay, and Brandi looks like an old Russian hooker with too much plastic surgery. Sutton tells Brandi she really should work it out with Denise. Sutton said, Sutton says in the confessional, I've known Brandi casually for a few years. They go to the same skincare expert. Well, Sutton, you look pretty good. Brandi, I don't know. I guess she's having a lot of healing ointments put on her various nips and tucks and injections, because you look a lot better than Brandi. Brandi's face is... No. Yeah, so Sutton actually tells her to keep quiet about stuff, and Brandi basically said, well, that ain't happening. Yeah, we know. We could have told Sutton, don't waste your time. Okay, and it turns out Denise did not come because Brandi sent her a thoughtful text telling her that she was coming. Okay, so now PK is BSing to Mauricio, the two men who both had big lawsuits and issues with fraud and things like that in the last couple of years. PK is telling Mauricio, I love this house, and believe me, I've had a lot of fabulous properties in my time. All right. Yeah, the key word being had. Okay, no matter what, I'm proud of her. Garcelle is sticking by Denise. Okay, now we have that ridiculous shot of them all tossing ice cubes into the pool, which is really just an excuse to, have all the ladies lined up for one final shot. It's supposed to be like, throwing 3 coins in the fountain, in the Trevi Fountain in Rome, which they did. Now they're going to each throw 3 ice cubes over their shoulder into the pool. Okay, so we see this lineup, and, some people have said, oh, is that next season's cast? That would be Rinna, Teddi, I hope not, Dorit, Garcelle. See, no, I don't think she's coming back. I don't know that. I haven't even read that. I have actually heard that she did say that if Denise doesn't come back, she's not coming back. Kyle, Sutton, Kim, and Brandi. I don't see them giving a diamond again to Kim. Brandi, we know that's true. Sutton, I don't know if she's getting a diamond. She'll definitely be back. She'll either be back in the same capacity or they'll give her a diamond. Kyle, we're stuck with, sadly. Yeah, Garcelle, I don't think will come back. Dorit, yes, and I'm happy about that. Teddi, oh God, I hope not. And Rinna, of course. She's TV gold, as they say. Ugh. Okay, now we're going to go into this dramatic kind of timeline situation for the end. 15 minutes later, there is no answer from Denise. the producers said that they contacted her and she texted that there was a family emergency. Okay. Now, a little later, I forget the timestamp, but I don't know, the next day or whatever, Rinna, Garcelle, and Dorit meet for drinks. Denise texts an "I'm sorry" to Dorit, and again says there was a family emergency. And they're all so appalled that she used that excuse. Who among us has not used the family emergency as an excuse? Although you don't say, I mean, oh, this is terrible, I'm going to teach you how to lie. No, I'm trying not to lie. But sometimes to get out of awkward social situations, don't ever say family emergency. That is so vague. You got to be a little more specific. So as not to cause bad karma, pick someone who's already dead. Pick an aunt or grandparent who's already passed away. And be specific in your family emergency. Don't just say family emergency. That just sounds like something came up. You know, it's not good. Okay, but yeah, they're all like, so how could she use that excuse? As if they have never used that excuse. Every one of those ladies has used the family emergency excuse to get out of something. We all have, or most of us. And if you've never used it, you're a better person than I am. Congratulations. Garcelle was supposed to meet Denise earlier that day. This is after the party, before meeting the ladies for drinks. And again, at the last minute, she canceled. Ladies, give her a break. She's kind of going through a thing. She's kind of going through a lot. So, Rinna says, why wouldn't she reach out to me? Are you crazy? Why would she reach out to you? You tore her apart worse than anyone. Rinna says, you know what's going to happen? She'll make us all into mean girls. Yeah. Okay, then the next time stamp a bit further down the line is that in the days that follow, Denise sends cease and desist letters to presumably stop speaking about this whole matter with Brandi to all the members of the cast and members of the crew, production staff. Okay. Then they use the worst newspaper, Daily Mail. The Daily Mail is terrible. It's basically a tabloid that looks like a real newspaper. They'll publish anything, and they love sensationalism. And they show a headline, not a headline, but they show the title to an article in the Daily Mail, which is garbage, saying, oh, Denise Richards had a passionate months-long affair with Brandi Glanville. Yeah, I mean, you know, this is, you got to consider the source. It's basically one step above the National Enquirer. So, okay. Rinna calls Kyle and they both agree that they will never see her again. If she's lucky, she'll never see you again. You're right. Yeah, they say that she's scared to show who she is. Again, just this whole thing has been a little bit tinged with homophobia. Like, oh, what, just come out and say that you love women, that you're a lesbian. The way they're dealing with it is not normal. It's not the way that it would have been dealt with if it were an affair with a man. And again, I'm going to call that there is homophobia tied up in this, and they would say, no, oh my God, we're the most, oh my God, we love the gays, we love the gays. They're going to say that, but I'm just telling you, that's the way I see it. You know what? Whether or not she wants to talk about whatever she wants to talk about is none of your goddamn business. So I'm glad for her sake that this is over and she doesn't have to deal with you Tasmanian devils anymore. Okay. Aaron says that he would like to understand why Rinna acts the way she does. Denise actually goes to see Lisa. They have a meeting. Yeah. And the answer to Aaron's question of why Rinna acts like she does is because she is pure ego and selfish vanity. They actually, when they meet, they actually hug. And then Rinna unhinges her jaw and swallows Denise whole. No, that didn't really happen. Denise asks Rinna, did you know Brandi was going to be there? She did. Kyle knew. Kyle probably set it up, allegedly, and Kyle told Rinna. And Rinna is so upset that there was no family emergency. How could you lie? Lisa, you have no rights here. You have no horse in this race, as they say. You have been allegedly friends or supposedly friends with Denise for years, for like 20 years. And you've treated her like garbage. Okay, and Denise brings up the app that makes text messages, which, as you'll recall, I made up a text string between Denise Richards and myself, because there are many, many apps that do that, and it'll look just like an iPhone, an iOS, or Google Android string, text string. Very easy. Most of them are free. They have ads on them, and you can make fake text strings to your heart's delight. You can even put date and time stamps on them. So again, text messages are not really good evidence anymore, just as photos aren't great evidence anymore, because everything can be tampered with because of technology. Okay, Lisa says, I know that you wanted to have all the footage about you and Brandi taken out of the show. And Denise is like, Denise is mad. She's really upset because obviously someone from production told Lisa that. And she's like, how do you know? And Lisa does her best soap opera. You're so angry. She's teasing with her. She's playing with her like a cat and a half-dead mouse, although this mouse, Denise, is not half dead. I mean, why does Denise even want to fix her friendship with Rinna? She's out of the show at this point. There's nothing that she's going to heal. I don't know why she agreed to do this scene. I wish she hadn't, because it just gives Rinna a chance to prop herself up and show us her soap opera acting skills that have gotten her so far in this world. You know, where are your Emmys and your Oscars, Rinna? Okay, she's just so condescending. She's just horrible. She's just a bad, this is such a common way of saying it, but she's just a bad person. Rinna, you're a bad person. Okay, now Sutton is flying the ladies to New York to see Erica in Chicago. Garcelle is not coming. She's starting to kind of creep away slowly from the group as she prepares to distance herself, probably once and for all, from the Real Housewives of Beverly Hills. Dorit is going to join them. She's going to come up from Mexico. Okay, now we have to see this. Again, I used to be so much on Erica's side. I used to really look forward to her. I used to enjoy her looks. I used to enjoy her funny sense of humor, her delivery, her, you know, kind of like, I'm a girl from the wrong side of the tracks and look at me now. But no, she's really full of herself, and I don't like it, and I'm not really there for her anymore. This season, and her whole kind of like joining the bandwagon against Denise so easily and so readily. No, this made me, she really lost me as a fan. Okay, so we have to have this whole thing of Erica, which cracks me up, and I'm going to try and kind of, I'm going to sort of try and reenact it in my own words. Nothing worth having is easy. You know, I served cocktails to a multimillionaire, and I married him, and I sleep with him. And because he's one of the wealthiest attorneys in the nation, I now have the world at my feet. You know, I made it happen with my blood, sweat, and tears. I had to go pick up those drinks. I had to serve those drinks. I had to flirt with him. I had to seduce him. I had to marry him. I have to sleep with him on a regular basis. And it just goes to show you, if you work hard enough, you'll be a star on Broadway. Just the average American success story. And again, I'm not shaming her, because I think that she really does I think she really does. Let's say she looks up to Tom. She really does look up to Tom. I would. He's amazing. I mean, he's brilliant. But don't make that sound like you pounded the pavement and worked your way up through showbiz and went to thousands of auditions and, you know, no, honey, you married well. Hey, I've married well. So I'm not shaming you for that, but I'm not going to say, wow, I worked so hard and look at everything I have now. And there was a time when I didn't have enough money in my purse for a cup of coffee, which is true. I'm also going to acknowledge that God gave me some, or whatever, the universe gave me some, for some reason, because not like I'm a saint, gave me some amazing breaks and put some amazing people in my path. And yes, I've tried to be a good person, and yes, all that. And yes, I'm appreciative, and yes, you know, I believe in giving back and all those things. But the fact is, I've been lucky or blessed, or whatever you want to say. So I was not too fond of Erica's little, look at me now. Okay. Well, of course, Erica's show is closed down 2 months later because of COVID, which is a shame. I mean, she did get excellent reviews. She really did get very good reviews, which I'm not surprised. She is Roxy Hart. I mean, she's perfect for that role. You know, so she goes home to Tom, and she's been quarantining with him, of course. And Garcelle is shown marching with her boys. They're all wearing masks, but she's marching with her boys for Black Lives Matter. Garcelle and Michael broke up. I don't think it was over the waiter, but maybe the waiter made her realize, wait a minute, what am I doing here? After being cheated on, maybe she was thinking, oh God, I don't want to get married and then cheat on him. You know, she knows what that's like. I don't know. Teddi has a daughter. The daughter's name is Dove. Oh, Dove. Could have also named her Lux or Camille or Irish Spring. I mean, I don't know, just sort of like, okay. This is a lovely baby. Congratulations on your lovely, healthy baby. That's okay. They claim that during quarantine, Kyle's loungewear is selling through the roof. Well, all of that crap in that line with Shahida a lot of it looked like loungewear to me. There was a lot of kind of kimono-y things and caftans, and I'd like to see the receipts, as they say on that. Is it selling through the roof? Really? Okay. All right. God, good for her. Then she's loving the Miss Rona. Okay. All right. Lisa, we get to see Lisa dancing with a broom at home on TikTok. Yeah, she's been making lots of TikToks during this whole thing. I don't watch her ever. You could not pay me. But I watched this because it was on the show, and she's dancing around with a broom with her bandana on her head like, oh yeah, like I clean my own house. Or maybe she's just trying to look like a housekeeper. She's playing one on TV. She claims to be a truth seeker. I'm a truth seeker. I can't even. I'm not even going to address that. Okay. Okay, wow. So, I believe Denise will be replaced by Brandi. So, the person who stirred the most gets the prize. So the bad guys win. And, we'll see about the rest of the cast. We haven't had all the contracts and announcements yet. We'll see if Sutton gets a diamond. I don't really care. But I will miss Denise, and if what I believe is true, I will miss Garcelle. I would not miss Teddi at all. I wouldn't miss Kyle either, but I don't think they're going to let her go. Unless it's a question of economy, because, a lot of the OGs are getting tossed off because of they're more expensive. They have to pay them more. We shall see. Anyway, I will be there for all of it. Whatever happens, no matter how annoying the cast is, I will be there for all of it, just as I'm there for all of New York. Again, check out Potomac. If you're not watching Real Housewives of Potomac, it's a lot of fun. I highly recommend it. And also, I love the style. I love the looks on that show. And these are some educated, interesting ladies. I will be there for Orange County because it's where I'm from. I feel compelled. I always have to do Orange County. I will be there for New Jersey. I will be there for Atlanta. I won't touch Dallas for reasons I would rather not discuss. But yeah, no, Dallas is not going to happen. You know, Salt Lake City. Ooh, I got to think about that one. I have to. I'm probably going to. I'll probably just watch the first episode and then decide, because that just seems. Oh God. I mean, you know. I know all the ladies won't be Mormons, but that whole Mormon world, they're nice people, but it's just so mayonnaise. It's so white. Do we need like more ultra white housewives? I don't know. We'll see. I'll keep an open mind though. But in the meantime, you can always count on me. I will be here for you. And I'm so happy that you've come along with me. And I love your comments. I love your support. Thank you so much. I always forget to say this until the very end. Please remember to like, comment. I love your comments. You have been giving me the most lovely comments. I appreciate it so much. And most of all, you would do me a really great service and honor if you would consider subscribing. And as I've said, anybody who subscribes, I will definitely I will always answer your comments, or if you subscribe, put your name in the comments and say, hey, I'm so and so, I subscribed. And I'll also give you a little shout out on air. And there's lots more to look forward to, so watch the space. And I'm going to be also filming New York today. So both of these will be up tomorrow, which is Sunday. So I hope you enjoy. I hope that you are careful and taking good care of yourself. I want you to be good, but not too good.